Good morning. So today we are preserving chicken organs and chicken necks. So we did a whole bunch of chicken butchering this past weekend. If you're interested in that, check out a video. There's a whole video about the process and all of the chicken butchering parts, but this video is going to focus on preserving the organs. So we saved livers, hearts, lungs, and chicken necks. And we are going to preserve them by dehydrating and freezing and turn them into dog food. So let's get into it. Okay, I am going to rinse all of these organs before I put them in the dehydrator. So, kind of rinse them out, and then we'll pat them dry, lay them flat, and then we'll get them put onto dehydrator trays. And remember, this is just dog food, so nobody yell at me about how clean things are. So I rinsed all of the organs, and now I'm just laying them out. So we have livers, hearts, and lungs. When I was reading about dehydrating the organs, a big thing that came up said that you have to cut all the fat off because fat doesn't dehydrate well, and that the hearts have to be cut in half because they're so big for them to dehydrate properly. So I am just gonna kind of pat them dry, keep what I want, get rid of what I don't want. And then it also came up and said that if I put it on a freezer tray and just freeze it, it's a lot easier to like cut the fat and stuff off when it's a little bit more solid. So I might do that, but I'm gonna just see how it goes if I don't do it, and that way I can just get it done quicker. We can get it into the dehydrator a bit quicker, but we'll kind of experiment and learn together. Are you headed outside? I think I'm gonna need more paper towel here. It also said that this stuff gets really sticky, so to put it on like either parchment paper or the silicone dehydrator mats. Now my dehydrator is all stainless steel, so I can do a really good clean of it after I run all this stuff, which is good. I don't know if I would do it in a plastic one unless it was like designated. It will get hot enough, like I will set it to 165 Fahrenheit when it's dehydrating so that it's hot enough, it like basically cooks it, so it's safe to eat. So we don't have to worry about like the bacteria. It'll kill all the bacteria stuff. But I don't know. I think I would feel weird about doing it in a plastic dehydrator. But each to their own. I like that I can really disinfect my stainless steel one. And I think I'll use the parchment paper instead of my silicone mats because I feel like that way I can just like throw the parchment paper out and I don't have to worry about it trying to clean it. But we have quite a few livers and lungs and hearts, and so I think this will be awesome to add to the dog's food. You could totally freeze these too, but I think it'll just be nice to try and dehydrate it and use it as like training treats, or just be able to store it in a jar and add it to their food every meal nice and quick without having to like dig through the freezer for it. And this is the first time I've done this, so I'm excited to see how it turns out and how we like the actual use of it. then if it goes well, then I could look into the legalities of possibly selling like organ treats, organ dog food treats in the future. We like to use as much as we can from every animal we harvest. And so being able to use the organs for the dogs is one way that we do that. And I just think that it's nice to be able to do it in different ways. So there is a lot of organs here. The other thing too is that like when you do feed these to your dogs, it's such a concentrated form of nutrition that you don't want to give them a ton of it in one shot. So this isn't something you want to give like huge volumes of. That's why it does mainly just go for treats or like a meal topper. You wouldn't want to feed like a whole bunch of livers or lungs in one shot because the nutrition's so dense, because that would upset their stomachs and make them sick, especially liver. You don't want to do too much liver for dogs in one go. It's good to spread that out. But yeah, it said to kind of cut things down so that they're thinner and all kind of the same size, and then pat it dry, take all the fat off because fat won't dehydrate and it'll cause moisture buildup, and then it won't preserve nicely, obviously. But I also bought little moisture absorption packets that I'm going to use to put in the jar once this is all dry, and that way if any moisture gets in there, it'll kind of absorb that to help keep things good. We also save the necks off the chickens for the dogs. Those, though, I will just vac seal and freeze. So I'll show that in a little bit here as well. But let me just show you more up close the organs we're working with, and then I'll show you kind of how I will prepare them, and then we'll get them put on trays. All right, so here's the organs we're working with. Don't worry about this food. That's all going to the animals. So livers, hearts, these are all lungs. And I'm just going to go around and cut all of the fat off of them, cut some of these livers apart, cut the hearts in half, and then we'll get it put onto trays. All right, so behind me, I set up all of my dehydrator trays with some parchment paper on them. Now I'm just going to trim up these organs, try and get as much fat off them as I can, just because, like we said before, fat does not preserve well. It makes things damp. So the hearts, it's said to slice kind of in half. And then I think I'll just lay them on the trays like that. Maybe I'll bring one of the trays over here, and then we can start putting our hearts on there. I think I'll do like all the hearts first and then kind of do it by kind. And if you think I can do this better or faster or different, please do let me know. This is my first time preserving organs in this way. And I just thought it would be fun to kind of give it a go. Okay, so there is our tray of hearts. They're all cut in half. That's all the hearts that we kept. I'm going to do like a pat dry on them, and then they're ready to go into the dehydrator. This is everything I cut off. I just tried to get most of the fat and the yucky bits, and we'll discard those. I know there's still some fat on these hearts. It's going to be tough to get all of it. So like I said, this is the first time we're doing this. We'll see how it goes, and then go from there. But I'm going to clean off my cutting board, and then I'm going to move on to lungs next. So the lungs, I don't think I have to trim a ton off of them because there's not really fat on the lungs. I think I'll just trim off some of this uglier stuff, and other than that, they'll just go on there, I think. Okay, second tray of lungs. I'll clean off my cutting board and then we'll get into the livers. This is actually going pretty quick. Quicker than I had expected, for sure. Now, the livers. It's said to kind of cut them apart the way they naturally want to be cut. And then again to take the fat off them. So like to separate the lobes and then take the fat off them. So do my best here, we'll see. So here is all the finished hearts and lungs and livers. They're all trimmed up. There's still a bit of fat on these hearts, so we'll see how they turn out. But the lungs and livers look really good. And then we're going to go and get these into the dehydrator. All right, into the dehydrator they all go. And then we'll set this to 165. Oh, it's Celsius, which would be 75. 75 Celsius is 167. And then we're gonna put it on for 12 hours. Here we go. And we'll come back and take a look and see how they turn out. Okay, now it's time to deal with the chicken necks. I'm gonna get them out of the fridge. I got the vac sealer ready, so I'm gonna get it all set up. I have the necks. I have labels, which are just our chicken labels. I just wrote necks beside it and the date and the year. I didn't do anything separate or fancy because these are just for our dogs. I'm gonna get this thing turned on. If I can figure out how to do, why is this not on already? There we go. Okay. So with this one, we have to make our own bags. So I'm just going to see. My plan is to do 4 necks per bag because we have 4 dogs, and I think that I would only pull out 4 necks at a time for them. So you seal it, cut it. Now we have a bag. I'll test this one out for size and make sure that it's big enough. And these are going to be frozen. So these are just, that was like a half neck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that'll be a good size. I'm going to get a whole bunch bagged. I'll make a whole bunch of bags first, and then we'll get them all bagged up and sealed, labeled, and they'll head to the freezer. So the necks are just super simple. and they are more like a treat for the dogs that we use. But this way, they don't go to waste. Got them all into bags, 7 bags, 4 necks each. We'll vac seal them and then plop them in the freezer. And those will be special little treats for the dogs. And that's how it'll turn out. Slap a sticker on there so we know mostly just what year they're from and that they're chicken necks and not turkey necks. Just like that. Done. And get the rest of them done. The chicken necks are done. I'll go put them in the freezer, and in 12 hours we will see what the organs look like. As promised, we are going to take a look at these now that they are fully done dehydrating. So we've got the hearts here. And I'm not good enough at doing this with one hand, but they snap in half. Let me see if I can show you. Excuse the chaos, but here's the hearts. They snap in half, so we know they're done. We have livers, snap right in half, no problem. Oh, so they're done. And then the lungs, I keep leaning on the on button. The lungs are just big chunks and they also snap in half. So they're all done. We're gonna get them loaded into jars. And we'll put all of the hearts in one. And I'm really excited to use these as dog treats and dog food. And I'm super pumped that none of them got wasted. And the parchment paper made it really easy for them not to stick. So, just putting them all in the jar. I don't know why this is still, there we go, running. These are lungs, so that's what we got for hearts. We have 2 trays of lungs, so second tray of lungs. There we go. And then I just need to grab another jar for the livers. This jar looks better. Oh, okay. We have quite a few livers. I'm just like so impressed with how these turned out and look. Like they look like legit, dog treats that you would buy at the store. It's so cool. Definitely gonna be doing more of this with our big game animals too. Like when we get deer and elk and moose and whatever. I'll have to look up, I'm sure you could do pig stuff too. I've just never really seen it in the store, but I'll have to look it up. How much liver we got. That's awesome. That is awesome. I only have one more tray. I was hoping to fit it all in this jar. Let's see. I'll give these to my dogs because we are full to the top. But that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we have livers, lungs, and hearts. I'll show you from this angle because the camera's a little more clear. So, livers, lungs. Oh, sorry, hearts. These were hearts. Hearts and lungs. That was from about 30 chickens. Come out with dogs and see what they think. So here's the liver. Scotty, Finn, sit. Sit, Finn, sit. Good boy. Scotty, sit. Good boy. I'd say the dogs approve. Oh, nice. You guys like those? That's it. You'll get more later. So as always, thank you so much for hanging out. If you enjoyed this video, there is plenty more on our site to browse. We appreciate you all watching and hanging out with us, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.